about gaining weight. And now I know you must be thinking, Perry, gaining weight? Well, when did that happen? Yeah, because it's not that prominent and it's not that drastic, but that is exactly what I want to talk to you about. What does this girl, skinny girl, know about getting fat? What does this fair girl know about what it's like being dark? You know, I used to think like that, but then when I experienced it, I thought that, you know what? It doesn't matter if you gain 1 kilo or if you gain 10 kilos. It's actually the same. And I was not able to understand what someone that gains 10 kilos suddenly would go through, because it's that bad. So, okay, let's begin with what my body used to be before. I've never had an issue with weight. First, I was actually, see, at 19, I joined at 19. I used to think that, the girls, they look so pretty in the uniform, you know, all their curves. So I really wanted to gain some weight to look a certain way. So I started eating and I stopped controlling myself. Now, I did not really control, but I just used to, you know, not really go to the dessert table at the hotels and stuff like that. Just keep an eye and watch what I'm eating. But then I stopped that because I wanted to gain weight. Now, once you stop controlling your eating, it's kind of difficult to go back to controlling, right? So I would just eat, not really pay attention. But then there was a time when my batchmates who had seen me 1 year ago, 2 years ago, I met them again and they were like, you've gained weight, right? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, yeah, it looks good though. I'm like, really? But I would not pay attention to the second line. I would just be stuck on the first line that, what? I'm gaining weight? And then, you know, they all would say that whenever I meet someone, and I would be like, I don't know. But then this thing happened. There was this girl who I used to share my cab with during training. So she had also seen me 2 years ago. It was this whole room, okay, full of crew, ready for briefing, debriefing. There are the in-flight executives sitting there, guys sitting there basically, which made this double embarrassing. So I came here, I was like, oh, hi. So I hugged her, okay, and then after the hug, I was like, so how are you? She's like, I'm good, but you tell me one thing. Why are you bursting, girl? And she said this at the top of her lungs. Everyone could hear her. Everyone started to look at me, even those guys. I mean, it's just that if girls were there, it's okay, but there were guys also. And I'm like, dude. And at first, everyone was like, I'm like, okay, could you have said that, you know, a little less on the volume? But then I really let it go. But that really affected me. I'm like, am I really getting fat? Because she said, why are you bursting? And she said it in Hindi. That doesn't sound really good in Hindi, you know. I'm a kind of person that even if you compliment me or say something bad, it won't affect me. But the way she said it really made me think. And I'm like, then I started to, you know, connect the dots that everyone else is saying that I'm getting fat. Is it the truth? And then I went, you know, to my previous Instagram pictures and I was like, I used to be so thin, what's wrong? And I was kind of, you know, getting really, not depressed, but not that confident. Whenever I would eat something, I would feel so guilty eating it, but then I'm like, I need to eat this because, you know, health. So then what happened, I started to really control and watch what I'm eating, and I would be like, no, I'll only eat healthy stuff from the crew, like snacks bag. So I was like, okay. So what happened was I started to eat so much like that. One day I just started to shiver. I was making this coffee for someone and I had to open that packet and my hands were shivering. Like, what the hell is happening? I'm shivering. I'm like, why am I shivering that much? This happened once when I thought that I'm grown up in 12th and I stopped having milk 2 times and I would only have it 1 time. So I got a deficiency of calcium and that is why I started to shiver, and also I got back to 2 glasses a day of milk. But then this was the second time. I'm like, I'm shivering just like that. What is happening? I'm having milk. I don't know what the hell is wrong. But then I realized it's because of sugar. The sugar level in my body was less because I was only eating healthy stuff and no sugars. And your body needs sugar, salt, all those things, right? So I went ahead, I had a good chocolate chip cookie, and my body, and it was not just 1 chocolate chip cookie, guys. I had to eat so much sweet stuff to stop that shivering to end. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so scary. I cannot let that happen. What if this was just momentary? What if this would become permanent, right? I got so scared. I'm like, whoa, no, this cannot happen. And at that time, I had a good talk with myself. I'm like, you know what? I went back to that Instagram picture, and if I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? I look like a little girl there. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to look like a woman. I wanted to look good in the uniform. I got that. Yeah, fine at time. I mean, I like a flat tummy. I'm kind of a sucker for flat abs. So I'm like, if not abs, I can have a flat tummy by working out, but you don't have to skip your food for it. You work out, you know the time when I used to work out, if you follow me on Snapchat, you know that. I'm like, you work out, that's okay, but you eat. You have one sugary item a day, you control it, but don't skip it, and don't go in that depressive mode, because my mind was also getting depressive, you know. I started to joke around with my body, like when crew would be like, you wanna eat this cookie? I'm like, no, I'm already getting so fat, and making jokes about it. And you know what, if I make, and they would look at me like, what, you fat? No? Oh yeah, your tummy looks a bit fat. You know, then their attention would go there, and I'm like, some of them would totally deny, and I would be like, no, I know I'm getting fat, but it's okay. Just make jokes about it. And at that time I thought, if I'm making jokes about it, that means I've come to terms with it. But no, when all these things happen, I decided, you know what, if I stop saying it every single day to myself, that is when I will actually accept the fact. Because if I'm making jokes every day about it as well, one, I'm bringing everyone's attention which is not needed to it, and secondly, I'm again reminding myself, because I would make jokes every day about my weight when it doesn't even look that much, right? So I'm like, if I stop saying it to myself, that is when I will actually accept it, and from that day onwards I stopped making jokes about my weight. If anyone would be like, have you gained weight, right? I'm like, yeah, I have. And if they want to say it looks good or not, that's their decision, but I'm like, yes, I have gained weight. It's not just the bad, the good should also not affect you, because then, you know, only this should affect you, and this is what should control your decisions. So right now I think my weight is absolutely perfect. Yes, I should work out just to have an active body. I will do that, but that's about it, you know. Yeah, I hope this gave you some inspiration. I don't really know what gaining 10 kgs at a time feels like, but I can kind of imagine now. So please be strong. I hope this video gives you some inspiration, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.